All right, thanks for joining everyone again on our Friday afternoon iGyro training sessions. Today we're going to be going through some reporting. So we've got a new type of report that's available in the iGyro portal, but we'll also touch on some traditional Excel style reports that are available in the iGyro desktop, specifically around sales lead reporting. So to start with, I'll jump into this new style of report, which is available in the Gyro portal. And we've got a new menu item here, and it's called Reports. So I'll click on that one. So this is the first report of this style. So we intend to have a few more populated in here in time. This first one is a task digest report, and essentially is a list of all the tasks and events that have occurred in your business across all of your jobs in a particular date range. So the idea is that you could have a weekly meeting or a fortnightly meeting, and you could get a digest of what's occurred across all of those jobs. All right, so we click on that item there, Task Digest. To start with, we get some dates here. So by default, you'll get a fortnight up to today. So you can change those dates quite easily and extend that. And the third option here, so we've got a start date and an end date, so you can pick those dates. The third option here is the group. So if you have access to multiple groups, so you might be working across 2 or 3 different businesses, you have a drop down here and you can select which business you're interested in. This account only has one. All right, that's pretty much all you need at that point. Just a generate button on that right-hand side. We'll click on that button. And pretty much instantly we should get a report looking like this. The way this is built is it's separated into the status of the job. So we have this set up in different statuses here for prospects, jobs that have progressed to a prelim service fee being paid, contracts signed, and jobs that are on site. So we can expand each one of those. This one will give us all of the on-site jobs. You can see as we scroll down here, this is all the tasks. So anything with red is a task that's overdue. So here's the due date here in this column. And if there's no date completed there, it's going to be showing red because it's overdue. This is an old test database, so most of these are overdue for us here. We notice there's a couple of green ones here. So these tasks here, there was a diary note, a contacted client, under slab drainage. All 3 of those tasks were filled out on this date here, 29th of the 5th, and it's showing in this report because it falls within this date range here. All right, so just looking at the details that are along here, we have the sales rep for that particular job. So we can, we didn't show that very clearly there, but each job is broken down in this list here. So this is one job in this section here. This is the next job here. And here is another job here. So in the first column, we've got the sales rep for this job. We're also looking at the project manager for the job, the task that we're referring to, whether it's a due or completed task, and the completed by. So that diary note will tell us that tim.demo was the user account that completed that task. And also we have the comment for the task as well. So the idea here is that you could work from top to bottom, and if you have a number of jobs on the go in a sales pipeline or on site or in between, you could work through this in a weekly meeting, and it'll give you information on what's occurred in the last week or 2 weeks, so you can jog your memory and speak about those in your meetings. All right, I'll just show you another account briefly. There's a smaller amount of information in it. It might be easier to see. So I'll just collapse those again. So if we have a look here, we've got the prospect list. So each of these jobs here, you can see quite clearly in this one. We can see all the tasks have been completed in the last fortnight, the dates that they occurred, and the person that completed them. All right, same for on-site. So it doesn't matter whether it's your site schedule tasks or your general tasks, your general admin tasks, they'll all show up in this list. And we have some links here as well. So these first two links will take you through to the job. So I like right-clicking on these and opening them in a new tab, just so that you can leave the report in place and come back to that. So this one took us straight through to the Tasks tab. I'll do the same on this one, which will take us through to the same place. And this last one, the site address, is a link directly to the site schedule. So if there was a task here that you, like gravel, for example, you want to complete that, you have a quick link straight to the job. Type in gravel and complete that task in here. All right, so some more advanced features in this, which probably aren't all that appropriate for this particular report because it's probably laid out in the best way it can be for this style of information. But these column headings here, we can group them by those columns. So if you drag one of these, I'll just cross those off. And we can drag by, say, sales rep, for example. So if we group them here, these ones have no sales rep assigned. These ones are all assigned to Alison. These are all assigned to Cameron. These are all assigned to Wayne as the sales consultant. So again, the information that's shown here isn't really relevant to group in that way. But as we get more and more reports using this style, you'll be able to use that functionality. All right, so if you do make the changes to this, you can change columns and the location that the columns are sitting just for your own, while you're viewing that, just to make it easier for you to read if you prefer it like that. The changes don't save, so as soon as you refresh the page or hit the generate button, all those changes will go back to normal. All right, so that's about all there is to that new report there. I'll quickly just pop a poll up here just to see how many people are using tasks in iGyro at the moment. So we've just got a poll there, just a couple of questions just asking whether you use the admin tasks in iGyro. So this is in the desktop, you have a task list that you complete for the jobs. And the next one there is if you have regular meetings to discuss your jobs in progress and or jobs on site. All right, we're almost there. We've got most people answered there. So the reason why I'm asking these questions here is because all these reports, the new reports and the older style of Excel reports, they all rely very heavily on tasks. So that's what drives the reports. If you're not filling out tasks, not completing the tasks, then you won't be able to get meaningful information from your reports. All right, so I'll just share that on screen with you. All right, so I've got a few there that aren't using the tasks at the moment, and a few that aren't holding regular meetings. So hopefully, it's probably the smaller business potentially that aren't using those, and you might be trying to remember these tasks along the way because you've only got a few jobs. Very good to try and get yourself into a habit of using these tasks, because as your business grows, it will help you keep on top of all of your jobs. All right, so I'll jump into the Gyro desktop now. And we'll jump into reports. Now, the first report I'd like to show, actually I should point out as well that we have had a previous webinar session going through reports in detail about how to create them and how to use them effectively. But I'll just touch on a couple of these sales lead reports here. So the one I'm talking about here is the sales lead report. Got some criteria there, but all you pretty much need to do is hit the generate report button. All right, so this is just a running list of your sales leads. This is a very big list. Again, this is just a demo database, but it's sorted by the first time you contacted this particular client. It gives you all their contact details here. So you can see the primary contact is mobile, email details. Towards the bottom, we've also got this date here. That's the last contacted date. So if you're using the contacted client task in iGyro, it will give you the last time that you communicated with this particular client, and it'll give you a good feel, especially for your prospective leads, whether you're keeping on top of communicating with them or not. All right, so on this very right-hand column here, it's also giving you that last communication that you discussed with the client. Now, this report is pretty automatic. All we did need to do there was just click on the sales lead report, click on generate. It relies on this criteria here. So probably the most important is not proceeding, and contract signed. So if a job progresses to the point where you've marked off the contract signed task, or if you've indicated that the client is not proceeding and marked off the relevant task in iGyro, then they won't show in this report. They'll be removed from that report next time you generate it. Another nice one to look at your projected sales is this one here, sales projected revenue. So this one does have a bit of criteria in here you might like to change. So the first meeting, so it's saying only show me clients after this particular date. All right, so you can remove that report criteria there just by clicking that X. That will remove that row for us. Or you can just modify the date if you prefer. So if you wanted only prospects that you added this year, you would add a date like this. Again, being a test database, I'll just go back and make it a bit older. All right, here's our projected revenue. Now, again, this is sort of broken down to job statuses, if you like. So here we've got first meeting clients. They'll progress into that next band once they've received a prelim service fee or paid their prelim service fee. Contracts ordered is in another band there, and we've got our contracts signed. So what we're seeing here is the contract price for that client. So if they're a first meeting, it's just I guess an assumption you type in about what you think their contract would be worth. And this right-hand column here is the projected revenue. So we're working out here that there's a 10% probability that a job would progress from a first meeting through to a signed contract. We've got a 20% probability that a job would progress from a prelim service fee being paid to a signed contract. 80% once the contract's been ordered, and obviously 100% once they've signed a contract. So this projected revenue is just the 20% multiplied by the contract price here. All right, so it looks like we've got about, all being equal, we should have $3 million worth of sales come through this pipeline. If you had 100% there for all of those clients, then obviously it'd be this 16 million. All right, so this is just what we've worked out over averages to be good numbers here, 10% for first meeting, 20 for prelim, 80 for contracts ordered. You can modify that yourself as well. So from the Gyro portal, come into admin, come into group settings, and under global settings, we've got our probabilities here. So for your first meeting, if you'd like to make that 15%, we'll just increase that number. And save that one. So next time we run that report, this band has now got 15% against each one of these first meetings. Alrighty, so would anyone have any questions about these reporting features that we've gone through today?
Tim, are you hoping to bring all our reports into the portal environment?
I don't think we'll bring all of the reports. So at this point in time, like, there's a lot of reports there. So Excel, they're slightly different in the way that they work. So Excel does serve a purpose still, and they've got very powerful pivot reports in them.
Yeah.
But this new style does open up new ways of doing reporting as well.
Mm.
So probably a lot of these ones that are really important in this top group here, I'd like to see those come into the portal as well.
Yeah, great. All right. And printable from the portal or just on screen at the moment?
They're just on screen at the moment. We can certainly look at making them printable.
Mm.
It's potentially able to cut and paste out of there at the moment, but we don't have a button just to print that directly at this stage.
Okay.
So we're on the forefront of that one, so we'll add more and more features to those over time.
Mm. Yeah, very good. Thanks for sharing that.
Excellent. All right, looks like we don't have any other questions there. So that'll conclude the training for this afternoon. Please reach out if you do have any questions, and we'll make the webinar available for you on Workplace. Until next week, see you then.